Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Sam, and welcome to my intro video. So basically, I felt like I should have been doing this a long time ago as far as making videos, recording it, and putting it out on YouTube. Better late than never. I feel like now is the perfect time to do this. But before I get into where I am now and why I'm doing it, a little bit about me. I am a singer, songwriter, artist, creative, that artsy friend. Yeah, that's me. Born and raised in New Orleans, and really got my start in the arts from being home, from being back in New Orleans, and taught myself how to sing just by like mimicking the radio and the songs that I heard on TV. And I did that every single day until, it literally became a part of me. It wasn't something that I did for fun. It was just something that I did. And it was just what I was doing. Along with, dancing from here and there, and nothing crazy, but mostly just singing. And I would say a lot of the shifts started to happen around X Factor. When I was 18 in high school, I auditioned for the X Factor here in the US and made it all the way until like that first round before we got to, I guess, I forget what round it was, but it was like all the way until the live auditions had happened. So that was my real first taste of casting, reality television, and competition shows. It's about, can we take this person and build a storyline and an art character around them? I didn't know that. I was 18. I just felt like crushed. I felt overlooked. I felt like my voice didn't matter. And more importantly, I was like, I don't want to feel like this. I don't feel like anybody that has been singing their whole life or working at anything their whole life and completely dismissed feel like they're not enough. So I said, you know what? I don't want to put myself in this position again. I went to school and then just started working in the industry. I did some stuff in radio. I did some stuff with my friends who was doing film and TV and web series. And then I got an opportunity to work at Atlantic Records. I was an intern there and then went over to Sony, and the rest was history. I immediately stepped into this dual role of artist versus businessman. And the reality is that when you're working in the industry, you are working in the industry. You see every single thing that happens before an album is packaged, shipped to retail stores, and sent out. Well, back then, now everything's on digital streaming services. It was all about album and album sales and what that looked like. And, immediately it was, all right, learning what do the people, the record executives, what are they saying when the artist isn't in the room? I know when an artist is in the room, they talk about the music, they talk about the plans, they talk about we're going to do this, that photo shoot, this press run, that press run, we're going to do digital marketing. But when they leave the room, what happens? How do these things get planned and prioritized and addressed, and how is budget created? How is an artist signed? How is an artist dropped? What are those things that really make an independent artist a star, literally a star? And I've seen it. And then once you see those things, you can't really go back to it. It really forces you to think as a major label artist with an independent budget. But I think a lot of the idea of where we want to be versus the reality of where we are creates inconsistency in some regards to an aspect, because you start to see yourself in a different way. You wear every single hat. You are the manager, you are the artist, you are the lawyer, you are the graphic design. You do everything. That's your thing. And it can really create an internal conflict. The art versus the optics. And it's a lot to juggle and it's a lot to manage, but it's, it can be real stressful at times. And again, that's when the inconsistency can come from, because people get burnt out and they be like, see, I wanted to do this, this, and this, but I'm tired. Because at the same time, life is still life, and you still got to go to work. You still got to pay your bills. You still got to create some type of income for yourself. So it can be a lot. The reality of it was a lot. And I did that for I've been releasing music for 10 years. Almost 10 years now. But this is the first time I would say I'm really doing it aligned. And I think that's where the shift is happening. These last couple of years, I really had to take some time to slow down and give myself the grace to stop and the ability to perceive the things that I have gone through and to contextualize the things that I want versus where I have already been. You know, sometimes you're moving so quickly and you're doing something so fast. You look up and 2 years have gone by, 3 years have gone by, and you're still in the same position. And it's like, what's going on? Like, you're not reassessing and realigning yourself with where you are versus where you want to be, you know? And this is the time where I have to be real intentional about the impact that I want to create. And that's why I'm starting this video. This channel, I would say, this is something that speaks to my commitment level and something that I'm going to hold myself accountable for. But then also, I just want to grow. Like, I want to continue to build in a way that I haven't built before. But it's more than just the talent, it's the person behind the talent. And it speaks to who I am. And I want this channel to represent the process. You know, I'm documenting what that looks like in real time. Like the process, the music itself, how music is, you know, getting contextualized from my brain to an actual song. The lessons that I'm learning, the failures, and this is the way to talk about it and to really like let you all know that it's okay. I'm an independent artist who happens to love to sing and write and make music with my friends. Is looking for someone to show you what it looks like to keep going after you felt like this ain't it, or I don't know where to pick the pieces back up because I've been away from it for too long. This video is for you. This channel is for you. And I want you all to see what this looks like in real time. You know, I'm not perfect. Nothing that I'm going to create is going to be perfect, but it will represent the imperfections of a human being who's an artist that's trying to grow. I'll leave y'all with this because I'm wrapping up. You know, if you've ever felt talented but misaligned, this next chapter, this channel, this is for you. If things aren't really going your way, if you're not sure what direction you want to move or go into, or you feel stuck, but you know you have all this untapped potential, you have all these different things that are inside of you, and you don't know how to activate it, you don't know what way you're really supposed to lean when it comes to your passion and your purpose, this is for you. My next chapter is our next chapter, and this is just the beginning. So comment, subscribe, follow along. I'm new here, so welcome to my space, and let's see where this journey takes us, because it can only go up from here, right? All right, y'all. Until next time, signing off. I'll check y'all later.